Today's lesson is called the £1 million banknote, Day 2. Hi everyone, my name is Jeff.
I'm Roger, and today we're going to continue to summarize our story, the £1 million banknote. Remember, we've got Henry Adams, and he ended up in London, England with only $1 in his pocket. Some brothers kind of picked him up, and they gave him a bunch of money, except the money was in the form of a £1 million banknote. The brothers had a bet going on. Let's see, Brother A bet that if a poor person uses the banknote, that person will get arrested. Then Brother B's bet was that, well, that £1 million banknote will allow that person to last a month. Okay, so Henry's given that envelope. He goes to a restaurant. He tries to buy a meal. He discovers this huge banknote. He goes back to the brother and asks them for an explanation. And then he realizes that, hey, if I can last a month, I'm entitled to all of Brother B's possessions.
How about that? And Brother B's right. When the restaurant owner from day one of our story saw the £1 million note, he said, well, I can't break that note, but because you're so rich, obviously, or in possession of so much money, I know that you're good for it and you can pay me later. So far, Brother B is kind of clever, kind of shrewd. Just having this big banknote should enable you to survive for a month. Everyone knows that you're going to be able to pay your debts at some point in the future. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a short break. And when we come back, we'll begin reading from day 2 of our story called The £1 Million Banknote.
Imagining the potential prize, Henry decides he must make it to the end of the month. He visits a tailor to shed his ragged clothes. While he is initially sneered at, the owner gives Henry an entire wardrobe on credit once he sees the large banknote. Henry quickly gains fame around London for his ability to escape paying for anything.
大家好，今天第一个单字我们看到的是 potential。这个字当作形容词，代表潜在的或是可能的意思。例如 That toy with the small parts is a potential choking hazard. 那个玩具的小零件有潜在的让人噎到的危险。接下来我们看到的单字是 ragged， 这个字当作形容词，它有衣服破旧的、人衣衫褴褛、邋遢或是轮廓或边缘参差不齐的意思。所以我们可以说 Todd had to use a ragged piece of cloth as a temporary bandage until the paramedics arrived. 在救护人员抵达前 Todd 得用一块破布当作临时绷带。再来我们看到的单字是 fame，这个字当作名词，代表名声、名气或是声誉的意思。例如 After Sandra became famous, she realized that fame didn't make her happy. Sandra 成名后意识到名声无法让她快乐。
Okay, everybody, it's time for us to summarize today's lesson. Now, remember, we all know about the nature of the bet between Brother A and Brother B, and Henry knows about this. Remember, if he can make it through the month, he'll be entitled to all of Brother B's possessions. So, imagining the potential prize, Henry decides he must make it to the end of the month. So, he's imagining what he could get if he's able to survive in London for 1 month. He's imagining the potential prize. A potential here just refers to something that might happen or it might develop in the future. I could say, for example, you have the potential to be a great trumpet player. All you have to do is practice every day for 8 hours. You have that potential. If you don't practice, then you're going to be a failure. So here he's imagining the potential here. So he says, I've got to survive until the end of the month. If I can do that, I'll get all of Brother B's money.
There you go. Here, the word potential kind of means possible. So here, Henry is imagining the potential prize. That is, he's imagining what he could possibly win. Yes, Henry could well win this prize. He thinks, well, we don't know if he's going to win this prize. We don't know if he's going to get everything that Brother B also owns. Remember, if he does win the bet, he's entitled to take everything that Brother B owns. How about that?
How about that? Now, he visits a tailor to shed his ragged clothes. Remember, a tailor is someone who makes clothes for people, and he wants to shed his ragged clothes. To shed something means to get rid of a layer of skin, like snakes shed their skin every once in a while. Here, he wants to get rid of his ragged clothes. Ragged means kind of torn, old, dirty, smelly, etc. Remember, he's very poor, so he's got really, really bad clothing. He wants to get rid of that clothing and replace that old clothing with new clothing. And while he is initially sneered at, the owner gives Henry an entire wardrobe on credit once he sees the large banknote.
Yeah, initially, the tailor sneers at Henry because of his ragged clothes. Remember, Henry was lost at sea, so of course his clothes are ragged. They're old and worn and torn and threadbare. You guys get the idea. And because of this, Henry wants to get rid of these clothes. He wants to take off these clothes, to shed these clothes, and to get rid of them once and for all. But the tailor isn't going to help out someone who looks like a tramp or a hobo or a homeless person or anything like that. And that's why the tailor takes one look at Henry and then sneers at him and says, "Oh, there's no way I'm going to help you out." Anyways, to sneer at someone is to kind of smile or to speak to someone in a mocking way or in a kind of condescending way. So apparently the tailor thought, hey, this guy's a bum. There's no way I'm giving him clothes. So he sneers at Henry. But then he sees the large banknote. He sees the £1 million banknote, and he has a sudden change of heart. Yeah, apparently this guy isn't a bum. He's super rich. He has a £1 million banknote. So I'm going to give this guy clothes on credit because I know he'll be able to pay me back later. Yes, the owner, this tailor guy, gives Henry an entire wardrobe on credit once he sees the large banknote. Seeing this banknote is believing for this guy, so he gives Henry an entire wardrobe on credit. Anyways, let's talk about this word wardrobe right now. A wardrobe is a person's clothes, all of them, a full set of clothes. So Henry, all he has to do is pull out this banknote, and the owner of this shop, this tailor shop, is willing to give him anything that he wants. Yeah, you want some clothes? How about an entire wardrobe? Further, I'll give you this entire wardrobe, this entire set of clothes on credit because you are obviously a rich man. So yes, he gave Henry an entire wardrobe on credit. That is, the tailor did not make Henry pay for the clothes, or this wardrobe, I should say, at that time. He agreed, or he let Henry pay for these clothes later or over time.
Yes, you can buy things on credit, or in other words, you can charge the items and pay later. And remember, a wardrobe here refers to a person's entire collection of clothing, but it can also refer to an article of furniture in your home. It's a large, tall cabinet in which you place those clothes. Remember that story about Narnia? I believe the children went into the magic land of Narnia by going into that wardrobe. But here, again, it's the entire collection of clothing, maybe, I don't know, about 10 suits or something like that, several shirts and trousers and belts, socks, shoes, all the accessories, etc., etc. And the tailor is willing to give him all those things because he saw the large banknote. Wow, you must be rich. I'm going to let you have these things on credit. Now, Henry quickly gains fame around London for his ability to escape paying for anything. So he gains fame. You could also say he becomes famous. Fame just means the state of being famous or well known. So he becomes famous, he gains fame or gets fame all around London because he has this ability to get lots of things without paying for those things. He's getting all those things on credit. What a clever guy.
Yes, and what a clever story as well. This guy, Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens, sure is clever. He knows how to turn a phrase. I am chuckling to myself as we speak. Anyways, that's enough for right now. Let's go ahead and take a break. But when we come back, we'll learn more about Henry and the £1 million banknote that he is in possession of.
Several days later, Henry is invited to a dinner party by the American minister. There he meets Portia Langham, with whom he immediately falls in love. The pair spend the night playing games, and Henry tells her the truth about the bet and his wealth. Later at the party, Henry meets an acquaintance from San Francisco who is struggling to sell mining shares. Sympathetic to the man's pleas for help, Henry agrees to endorse him in return for half the commission.
第二部分我们看到的单字是 acquaintance， 这个字当作名词，它有熟人、认识的人的意思。例如 Sam 在出版业有一些认识的人，英文可以这么说 Sam has some acquaintances in the publishing industry。 再来我们看到的单字是 sympathetic， 这个字当作形容词，它有感到同情的或是有同情心的意思。所以我们可以说Rita is a very sympathetic person who always has time to listen to my problems. Rita 是一位非常有同情心的人，她总是聆听我的问题。接下来我们看到的单字是 plea， 这个字当作名词，代表请求或是恳求的意思。例如，市长听取穷苦人家恳求帮忙。英文可以这么说 The mayor listened to the pleas for help from the poor. 再来我们看到的单字是 commission，这个字当作名词，它有佣金、回扣或是银行或公司收取手续费的意思。所以我们可以说 Kelly makes a commission on every dress she sells. Kelly 从她卖出的每件洋装中抽取一些回扣。
Okay, let's continue with our story here. Now, remember, he just got a whole wardrobe of clothes on credit, and he's famous because he can get lots of things without actually paying for them. And several days later, Henry is invited to a dinner party by the American minister. A minister is probably the head of a governmental department. A minister could also be a religious leader. And there at the dinner party, he meets Portia Langham, with whom he immediately falls in love. Okay, so he sees this woman. Wow, she's the girl of my dreams. He falls head over heels for her. It's love at first sight. He immediately falls in love, and the pair spend the night playing games. And Henry tells her the truth about the bet and his wealth. So he tells her all about what's going on here. Yes, I'm kind of in the middle of a bet between these two brothers, and he tells her the truth about that bet and why he appears to be so rich.
Yeah, he immediately falls in love with her and feels as though he can trust her, so he tells her everything. Henry tells her, this person, the truth about the bet and his wealth. Then, later that evening, Henry meets an acquaintance from San Francisco who is struggling to sell mining shares. How about that? First, he meets the woman of his dreams, Portia Langham, with whom he falls madly in love. And then he also meets an acquaintance from San Francisco in London. How about that? Now, before we move on, let's talk about the word acquaintance. An acquaintance is a person with whom you are somewhat familiar. If you're an acquaintance of someone, you're kind of like their friend, but not really. You're a not close friend.
So this is somebody he knows from San Francisco, and that person is in London, maybe trying to find investors for his mine. Maybe the mine is in Nevada or something like that. So this person is struggling to sell mining shares. If you're struggling to do something, you're having difficulty doing that thing. Maybe people in London aren't interested in investing in his mine. Sympathetic to the man's pleas for help, Henry agrees to endorse him in return for half the commission. So here we have the word sympathetic. If you're sympathetic to someone, that means you understand the difficult situation they are going through and you would like to help. You kind of feel what they're feeling and you are sorry for them, so you want to help. He's sympathetic to the man's pleas for help. Here, please does not mean, oh, please sit down here, or please can I have a cup of coffee. It's please in the plural, P-L-E-A. Plea is just a request for some kind of help, especially if you're in a bad situation. So he's sympathetic to the man's pleas for help. So Henry agrees to endorse him. And to endorse here just means to support someone, especially if you're supporting them with some money, you're supporting them financially.
There you go. Okay, at the very beginning of the sentence, we do have the word sympathetic. If a person is sympathetic, they can feel sympathy for others. So here, what we're saying is that Henry, he feels pity for this poor guy from San Francisco who is struggling to sell his mining shares. And because he's sympathetic, Henry agrees to endorse his friend in return for half the commission. Now, to endorse someone in this case is to support them financially, okay? To endorse someone, as far as money is concerned, is to agree to take financial responsibility for someone or something. Then last but not least, we also have the word commission. Here, a commission is an amount of money paid to an agent for their services in some transaction. Yeah. A commission is usually a portion or a percentage of the value of some transaction, some business transaction.
If you work in sales, of course, you want to get a commission in order to make money. Okay, let's continue with the next part of our lesson. Let's listen first.
At the end of the month, Henry and Portia visit the brothers. When brother B asks Henry what he would like, Henry says he wants nothing, since he has already made a lot of money with the mining shares. Portia then reveals that brother B is her stepfather. Henry is shocked, but immediately changes his answer and says there is something he wants, the title of son-in-law. After Henry and Portia get married, they hang the framed, but now cancelled, £1 million banknote in their house.
今天最后一个单字我们看到的是 framed。这个字当作形容词，它有表框的，以框架框起来的意思。例如 My father bought a framed painting and hanged it in the living room. 我爸爸买了一幅表框的画作，并把它挂在客厅。
All right, everyone, we're back, and we're here to wrap things up. At the end of the month, Henry and Portia visit the brothers. It sounds like Henry, by the way, has made it. How about that?
It does sound like he has become successful indeed. And when brother B asks Henry what he would like, Henry says he wants nothing, since he has already made a lot of money with the mining shares.
Wait, he asks for nothing? He wants nothing? Why doesn't he take everything? After all, he is entitled to everything, right?
Makes sense here, so let's find out exactly why he says nothing. He does not want anything from Brother B because he already has enough money. He doesn't need anything that Brother B has. And he made a lot of money with the mining shares. So remember here, Henry is getting a commission from the mine there, and that was the right investment. He helped out the acquaintance from San Francisco by buying some shares for his mining business, so he made a lot of money that way. So brother A, brother B, I don't need you guys anymore. Thank you for helping me out when I was first here, but now I don't need you at all.
Now, if the story ended here, that would be a pretty good story. But get this, the plot thickens. This story is going to get even better. Next, Portia reveals something. Portia then reveals that brother B is her stepfather. And Henry, of course, is shocked. Henry is shocked, but immediately changes his answer. Instead of saying he wants nothing, he says, give me everything. I want it all. Right? Wrong. No, Henry is shocked, but he does change his answer. He changes his answer and says there is something he wants. The title of son-in-law. How about that?
Cool. Okay.
How romantic and cool, yes.
Yeah, it has a happy ending that way. So yes, indeed, brother B indeed is her stepfather. Henry's shocked, but then he does want to be the son-in-law. He wants to marry Portia, and after Henry and Portia get married, they hang the framed but now canceled £1 million banknote in their house. So here, the bill, the banknote, is framed. If something is framed, it's put inside a picture frame for display on your desktop or on the wall or something like that. You might take a family portrait and have it blown up, and then you can frame it and put it on the wall. There we are, our family portrait.
There you go. Further, this note, this banknote has been canceled. You can't hang a £1 million banknote in your house. That would be very easily stolen by anyone. So you can't hang the note in your house, but make sure you cancel it first or render that banknote null and void. All right, folks, with that, our story is in the books and complete, and the Chinese teacher is waiting in the wings.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第二部分有一个句子是 There he meets Portia Langham, with whom he immediately falls in love. 他在那里认识了 Portia Langham, 立刻就爱上她了。这边要介绍的是介系词移到关系代名词前面的用法。那句子里面的 whom 指的就是前面的 Portia Langham。那由于先行词它已经是特定明确的对象，所以这个 whom 引导的是非限定用法的关系子句，那必须用逗号跟主要子句隔开。whom 引导的子句就是用来补充说明先行词 Portia Langham。 那至于介系词 with， 它原本的位置是摆在 falls in love 的后方，不过在关系子句句尾的介系词通常会被移到关系代名词的前面。举例来说， Mia, with whom she stays in close touch, will be in town next week. 他一直都有跟 Mia 保持联系，密切的联系，那么 Mia 下周会来城里。另外要提醒同学们， whom 是 who 的受格，通常是可以用 who 来代替 whom， 可是如果 whom 的前面有介系词，就不能用 who 来代替了。接下来我们来学习 fall in love 这个片语，它是指相爱啊，坠入情网。当我们说 fall in love with somebody 就表示爱上某人了。好，相反的 fall out of love 就表示不再喜爱，后面同样可以接 with somebody 来表达不再爱某人了。那这边顺便帮同学们补充几个跟恋爱啊还有跟迷恋相关的用法。好，第一个是 fall head over heels in love with somebody， 彻底的爱上某人，深深的爱上某人。那其中这个 head over heels 就表示彻头彻尾，完全的深深的。好，再来看第二个，介绍的是 fall for somebody， 这表示迷恋啊，倾心于什么。好，那 fall for 它其实是源自于鱼看到鱼饵的动作，那引申的意思是有迷恋啊，或者是被骗。当我们这个受词呢是人的时候， fall for somebody 就表示爱上某人，可是如果受词是事物的话， fall for something 就表示被某事物所欺骗。好，第三个 lose one's heart to somebody 表示把心都给别人了，那意思就是爱上某人，倾心于某人。好，再看下一个 have a crush on somebody， 它表示迷恋某人啊，喜欢某人，通常就是对某个人很短暂很强烈的喜爱。哦，我好喜欢隔壁班的男生哦。当你在某个期间啊，然后你很喜欢一个人的时候，就可以用这个片语来表示。好，再下一个是 be crazy about somebody， 就表示非常喜爱某个人，或是很迷恋某个人。我们也可以把受词改成事物 be crazy about something， 也可以表达说非常热爱某事物。那我们最后再补充两个用语， puppy love 小狗狗的爱，什么意思呢？就是纯纯的爱，尤其是指青少年时期纯纯的爱，很单纯的那一种。再来 unrequited love 则是指没有回报的爱，那意思就是单恋咯。好，以上是今天的重点整理，接下来回顾今天的单字吧。
Potential. The potential benefits of this new treatment are very promising. Ragged. The children made fun of Paul for his ragged clothing. Fame. The actress gained significant fame following the release of the movie. Acquaintance. I met several old acquaintances at my high school's 10-year reunion. Sympathetic. Although sympathetic to her stressed-out student, the teacher would not change the assignment due date.
Plea. The politician issued a plea for tougher gun control laws. Commission. On top of his regular salary, Dave gets a commission for each sale he makes.
Framed. Several framed photographs decorated their living room.
Discussion Starter starts now!
Okay, here's our discussion starter for today. What would you do if you found yourself in Henry Adams' position?
I think I would get a bank account at the Bank of England and then break that £1 million note into smaller denominations. And then I would leave most of that money in that bank account there so that it's safe and sound. And then I would spend the money slowly but surely and also invest some so that I have a nest egg there in London.
Well, my response would be to move out of London, move to a cheaper city like Birmingham or Manchester or something like that, where rents are cheaper and the cost of living is much lower. That way it would be very easy for me to last a whole month. And then after that, I would move back to London and collect all the things that are entitled to me from Brother B.
Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.